right. Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? Yo, let me tell y'all how excited I am. Number one, man, I put a lot of stuff to the side. I just don't do stuff. I always talk about it, always talk about it, always talk about it, but I never do it. And guess what, man? Those days are over. I promise myself that I will get everything done that I want to get done without any hesitation. And I promise you from now on, if it's in my mind, I am going to do it because there is no time like now. And I now know that. And the longer you put things aside, I mean, last year showed me a lot about why we shouldn't wait to do things, and why we should just do it. Right. Especially if our children look up to us, we should just do it. And that's where my mindset is like, you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You might not have tomorrow. You may only have until the end of today. So why are we waiting to get done the things that we're passionate about? So here it is, man. First ever episode of The Floor Is Yours, baby. And I'm here. It's Daryl, man. I'm excited to get this thing kicked off. Unfortunately, I had to reschedule with my guest, but I'm going to spend tonight's time talking about why I started The Floor Is Yours and why this is so important to me to get kicked off. It's so important to me to talk to so many influential people in our community that you guys typically don't hear from. And I'm excited to bring that to you. But tonight, it's all about D. It's all about me, baby. So look, a little bit about me for a lot of people who don't know who I am. My name is Daryl Turner. I'm a person that speaks my mind, but I'm also tell you that I'm very respectful of everybody. I'm respectful of your opinions, and I'm respectful of the way people feel. So I'm very ethical and a lot of in the way that I move in my life. Right. So this is just me. I'm excited to bring you content. And something else about me is I used to put everything off. I said that a little earlier, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit about why I am so passionate about this. So whenever I would start or whenever I would get an idea about doing something, I would have pause because I would think about what somebody else thought about it, what somebody else would say, or how somebody else would feel about me starting something that I was passionate about me doing something that I was passionate about. And then I always thought like, what if this person says this to me about me getting started, or what if this person felt some type of way that I'm doing this? Like, I don't want to upset these people, so I'm gonna just put it off. Maybe if I do it at a later time, they'll change the way they feel, or maybe if I put it off for a little bit, they'll change the way they think. It won't happen, and I don't know why I was thinking that it would happen. And also another thing is, I remember because I used to want to be a journalist. I remember writing short love stories, and this is a big part of my life. I remember writing short love stories, and I would write them, and I was happy about it. And I used to work at a Verizon store out in Five Points Road, and this lady came into my store, and I was writing. It was a slow day. I was writing, and she came into my store and asked me what I was writing. And I said, "Oh, I'm a writer. I love writing short love stories. And yeah, I mean, this is what I'm doing." She said, "Well, if you don't mind, I'm a publisher. Can I read one of your stories?" And I said, "Absolutely, you can read one of my stories." So I let her read one of them. Lo and behold, and this, I promise you, hurt my heart. She read one of the stories. She then took the story, she published it in the back of a Playboy magazine. No lie. Published it in the back of a Playboy magazine with names that I didn't name my character. So she named the characters entirely different names from what I had on the paper and took complete credit for the article that was written in the back of the Playboy magazine. No bullcrap. Hurt my heart, man. And that put pause in me. So whenever I wanted to do something after that point, I slowed it down. I said, man, I don't want anything to go wrong. I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna wait my turn. But here's a question I got for you guys. How do you know when it is your turn? How do you know that? That's why we can't wait, because we don't have the answer. Things can happen for us right now. If we don't mind making the move, things can happen right now. And that's a big part of why I want to get this journey started with The Floor Is Yours, because we don't have time to waste on procrastination. I'm telling you guys, if it's something you are passionate about, you do it. We don't have time to waste. Here's something else I'm going to give you. I noticed that there's a lot of people out there just like me. A lot of people who wait to do things because they think that they have time to do it. Now, I'm not a psychic or anything, right? I can't tell you what the future holds, but I can tell you that the longer you put things off, the longer you put your dreams off, the longer you put your wants off, it will not happen the way you need it to work. Now, it might happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen at all, but the way you want it to happen, it's not going to happen the way you want it to. Because a couple things, you can rush it, you can start talking to the wrong people, or you can lose passion for it. Those things can happen. So I'm telling you, The Floor Is Yours is here to motivate every single person that listens to this show. It's here to motivate you and inspire you to do whatever it is you want to do based on the people I'm going to have on this show's example. And I'm excited about that. So guys, I can't wait to start talking to these people, because they're going to talk about their journey. They're going to talk about their life. They're going to talk about their struggles, the ups, the downs. They're going to talk about fun stuff about themselves too, why they enjoy doing what they do, why they enjoy the process of what they're doing, why they're so passionate about it, how it impacts the community. They're going to talk about all this. And guess what? I'm bringing this all to you guys because you guys deserve it. People need to hear different perspectives. People need to hear why it's important to get up and go. People need to hear why you need to get things done, why you need to get things started. And that's why I'm putting this together, because a lot of people talk about their dreams. A lot of people talk about putting things in motion. And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how unique it is. It doesn't matter how hard you think it is. Because ultimately, we don't know the answer. It could be very easy if we get started. If we get started, I want to give a great big shout out, like the hugest shout out, right? I want to get a hugest shout out to Siobhan McGee. I'm going to tell you why. She brought something up that I don't think about. Actually, she didn't bring it up. Somebody else brought it up this past week on Girl Talking the Spirit. Actually, it was Hakeem. Hakeem brought it up, and he thanked Siobhan. He thanked Siobhan for being the strong person she is. He thanked her for putting that platform together. He thanked her for just being an unbelievable person who's not afraid to do things the way she feels is fit. So he thanked her, and I want to do that too. And I'm going to give her roses, right? So here's something very important. Siobhan brought me in 2000, I believe it was like 2017, 2018, my first experience being on radio. She brought me in as just somebody to call up and speak. Little did I know that I was going to be the co-host of Girl Talking the Spirit. I didn't know that at the time. What I called for is just to bust it up with my cousin, right? Siobhan McGee. Siobhan McGee, if you guys don't know, that is my cousin. And we have a show. It's called Girl Talking the Spirit. It streams on spiritualconnectradio.com. So if you guys want to catch it, it's every Thursday at 9 o'clock. tune in. We cover so much stuff, and it's so much stuff embedded in that show that just affects so many different people. I'm telling you, you gotta listen into that show. But she invited me on the show, and it was unbelievable, dude. I'm talking about the vibes were there. You know, we were just talking, and the energy was right. And every week after that, I mean, I missed a couple weeks because why? I'm Daryl, right? Unfortunately I wasn't as committed as she was. But then I noticed something. If you're going to do something, and I hear the most successful people say this all the time. If you're going to do something, you have to do it like you have nothing else. Because the same way you do one thing is the same way you do all things. Now, I didn't believe that at first, but I 100% believe that now. And this is why it's so important for me to get The Floor Is Yours kicked off, because I can no longer talk about it. I have to do it. Going back into my story. So Siobhan invited me on a show. We busted up that one night. She invited me back for a second week. We busted up again. It was awesome. Then she invited me into the studio that third week. And I'm telling you, man, the chemistry was just there. And what happened is I found a passion that I wasn't 100% aware of. And I'm gonna tell you how that passion grew. Now, I also work with a company that works in personal finance. For a lot of you that didn't know that, right? And what happens in personal finance is based on your successes or based on what you've done correctly, you're able to speak in front of crowds sometimes. Okay. So I was one of those people who I went up to speak, right? My first time speaking in front of people, you know, my first time being in front of a group of people. And I'm not going to lie, I was spooked out of my mind, like spooked out of my mind, man. And I remember being called up to talk about why I did what I did, you know, on this particular trip. So look, rewind a little bit. We went on a trip. My story was that I didn't have the money right away to go on this trip. So I made a sacrifice. And the sacrifice was me selling my video game system at that particular point in time to go on this trip and to get home. Part of that story, however, was I didn't have the money for the flight. So since I didn't have the money for the flight, I had to take Greyhound from Florida all the way back to Philly. Think about that. From Florida all the way back to Philly. And listen, man, that experience I'll never forget. But I had to talk about that in front of this room of people, and my passion shined through me talking about this situation. My passion shined through. It was like a bright light, right? A bright light just went off in my head. It was like, yo, this is freaking awesome. I love it, right? That's that. And because of Siobhan, I found my passion. And that just really added to it, right? It just really added to my passion. I knew that I wanted to do public speaking at that point. I knew what my calling was at that point. I love to write. I was always scared to talk about how much I love to write because it wasn't the popular thing to do when I was growing up. It just wasn't popular. Nobody ever talked about being a publicist. Nobody ever talked about being a journalist. Nobody ever talked about being a writer. Nobody. I mean, I never heard anybody growing up talk about this stuff. Right? So this was a passion of mine that I was always afraid to talk about. You know, I was always apprehensive to talk about talking, like to talk about my passion because of what I thought somebody would think about me. But here it is, right? We are here. And I'm excited to bring this to you, man. I'm excited to bring unbelievable content to you guys. I promise I'm gonna light a fire under somebody if I don't light a fire under myself. I'm telling you, man, I am here for you. I am here to make sure that I do everything I can possibly do to motivate you, to inspire you, to make sure that you get up out of your seat and get moving with your goals, with your dreams. I'm telling you, whatever it is that you want to do, it's possible. Why? Because the Almighty has his hand on you and he will move you in places you can never believe. I am here to tell you that if you believe in God and you have faith in God, that he will lead you down a path that is for you. But you have to sometimes leap out on faith. Don't sit there all the time and say, man, I have this great idea. Man, I want to do this with my life. Man, I really feel like that this is my calling. Find out. And the only way you can find out that that this is your calling is if you start putting things in motion. That's the only way you can find out. If you don't start putting things in motion and you sit on your thoughts, you're going to start to play the what if game. What if I did what I said I was going to do? Where would I be? How would people look at me? What if I miss my calling? We are not here to play that game. The game we are here to play is inspiration. The game we are here to play is motivation. The game we are here to play is positivity. And I am here for the ride, baby. I cannot wait to get these people on. It is going to be unbelievable. And you guys see my setup. It's not done yet. I'm telling you, I got some things coming, man. I'm gonna have a flower plant, like a plant right here. I'm gonna have where my arm at. I'm gonna have a plant right there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have something like right behind me right here. It's gonna look nice. This screen that you see behind me, this is where we watch our movies at. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty cool. When we down here, we're watching our movies or we play our video games on it. You know, we just have a good old time as a family down here. But this is also my place of business. This is also my place of mental stimulation. When I need to come down and get away from life, and I think we all need that type of place when you need to come down, meditate, come down, concentrate, come down and just do something to remove you from all the junk that life has to offer. You need a place to go to, or you need someone to talk to. And this is my place. You know, I'm able to come down here. I got my computer shining on me. You know, I got my light shining on me. I got my microphone here and I got my book. As you can see, this is where I take all my notes. You know, I keep my phone very close. I am on Clubhouse. Bang, 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 bang. I am on Clubhouse. So my name's Daryl Turner on Clubhouse. So if anybody wants to ping me in Clubhouse, I'm with you. I am on board, baby. But also, you guys can always catch me at what is my Instagram? Come on, Daryl. What are you doing? My Instagram name is at the underscore floor is yours. So at Instagram underscore the floor is yours. And my Twitter name, I'm gonna tell you that right now. My Twitter name, because I just started this Twitter page, so I am unfamiliar of what it is, because you know sometimes Twitter give you a name, and if you like that name, you keep it, right? So my Twitter name is at floor underscore IZURS. Again, at floor underscore IZURS. At floor underscore is with a Z, yours, URS. And that is my Twitter name. And for everybody that wants to hit me up on my YouTube channel, please do follow me and share my content. I am asking you, because so many people are going to be motivated and inspired by this show. I promise you it's going to happen. So many people need to listen in, because they might hear something from somebody that resonates with them, that sits on the inside of them, and just get a light lit or get a fire burning in them, and they just going to want to start. And those are the stories that I need to hear from you guys. But the content will not get out if you don't share it. It won't. And if you don't hit that notification bell, guess what's not going to happen? You won't know about the new content unless you go to my page. And this is fairly new. So I'm not naive enough to say that you guys are going to remember to go to thefloorisyours.com. I know you're not. So if you don't turn that notification bell on, you won't receive any of the new videos that I post. All right. So listen, again, I'm excited to get this journey kicked off. Again, my Instagram is at _floor_is_yours. All right. And not only that, I'm going to post it. It's going to be right here, right in this little corner right here, or it's going to be up here, whichever one I want to put it at. Right. So it's going to be in one of those locations, but at _floor_is_yours. And my Twitter is at floor_is_IZURS. And you can also reach me on Facebook as well, Daryl Turner, and you're going to see so much stuff uploaded, man. I'm going to start uploading a lot of the people, well, not a lot, but everybody, right? I'm going to make a flyer for everybody to make sure you guys know when the interviews are coming, when the content will be uploaded, and you'll be able to listen in and just enjoy. And not only enjoy, hopefully it will inspire somebody. So I say this at the end of every video: peace, love, boom! We out, baby! I'll talk to y'all later. Holla. Bow.